What's up, guys and girls? B2, and I thought it would be really fun to take a look at day 19 of South Africa, just continuing the series there. Now, we started down kind of in this area. It kind of hooks here in the beginning. It's a 5-town start. Some of the other countries have 6 towns. I know I started a Venezuela game, and they actually start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like all the way around here. So definitely a strong advantage on Venezuela. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe the top 5 countries I think to start from to work out based on the number of cities they have, landmass, what doctrine they use, what advantages they have from the start resources, that sort of stuff. But to continue on from here today, this is just going to be an update video. We're going to take a look at kind of the progress and where we're at, who is still in the alliance, who is out of the alliance. So if you notice here on the coalition side, if we pop open ours, South Africa, France, Namibia, Spain, DR Congo gone, Kenya gone. Both of them went inactive, and so we ended up having to take their lands, which actually hurts you in an alliance, right? If you bring on a member that starts for 4 or 5 days and then AFKs away, their land they're still allied or you're at peace with them, but it's a computer player, so that landmass is doing nothing. It's not helping your alliance. So we immediately set DR Congo to war, took his lands, and then when Kenya did it, we did wars again. But you could tell, like last video, we were up in here where Egypt owned all of this land, and so we're kind of making our way across. Took out Egypt, took out Ethiopia, took out Saudi Arabia, Nigeria, Ghana, Mali. All of those were still in last update, I believe. And you can tell our map is a mess where you see these little white hexes here. That means that someone else owns the land and someone else owns the city. Like for me, I own Accra here. You can see this right here, but the landowner up here is Spain. The reason why is if they move on and it goes to rogue, whoever is the closest is going to move in and take that town, right? You don't want to backtrack. You don't want to mess around. And so as we were cleaning up in here, like I ended up going and cleaning up these towns as France went into here and then Spain cleaned up here. We actually had part of Israel and Syria, this whole area, but Ukraine came down. I don't know where that's going to go. We're kind of in a little bit of a war with Ukraine, I guess, but not really. We're just kind of going back and forth at this point, and Spain is launching in here and causing some fires. But I would say right now, though, we are advancing through Iraq, and you can tell we're just trying to clean up the town up in here. This city is rogue, so I've got some troops moving this direction, but I'm kind of waiting to see what's going to happen next. I don't know, like Iran and India, they're two very big, powerful states. And they're in the same coalition. I don't know if we're going to go right or we're going to go left, and I don't think that we know either right now. Like it would be a big risk to take a left, and it would be a big risk to take a right, but we're kind of out of landmass, right? If you look at what's going on here, Russia and Ukraine, Belarus, they're all in one alliance or coalition, my bad. I keep getting them mixed up and you guys keep correcting me, right? But see, Band of Brothers here, this is the Iran, India, Japan, and Australia. So if we hooked a right, it would take a while. We could eat one country at a time before they could react. So I don't know what the play is there. I think that's the smarter direction. Whereas like this European Union, Mexico, well, I'm sorry, let me get back. The EU, it would be this Yitsko, right? So these guys, Russia, Belarus, Norway, Ukraine, Kazakhstan, they would be a little tougher to take because they don't have as far to react. Japan is not going to be able to get all the way to Iran to help out over here, right? So like you'd have to go like Thailand and India from Japan to make it across, so that might be the better move. But then if we land grab in here real quick, then we extend our war. So if we went straight north, you see we can connect these two fronts, and then it would be one long front here versus like 4 fronts all the way across. So you get what I'm saying? Like you want to shrink your war line. You don't want to extend it so that you have a war line here and a war line here and a war line over there. You want to connect lands so that you can actually move from the middle of the map outwards and actually hold more ground with fewer troops. A very good strategy. Now, of course, that all goes to crap if you have people that are flying troops in. It gets really, really fast, or your airborne troops in. It just moves at an incredible speed after that. So for what we're gonna do now, I think we're gonna focus Iran. I really do. I think we're just gonna make nice over here and then move to the east and just land grab. Let's see where we're at as far as like total provinces. We're about 600 ahead of the next place. Is that 600 or 500? Like 550. So we've got a pretty comfortable lead, but they're running out of land quick. So whoever goes to the right first and starts smashing land is going to be the one that actually comes ahead on provinces. And we're working with 4 members instead of 5, right? So even more reason to be a little bit more cautious. Now we have 4 really active members. That's the good thing. So we're not in any rush to make a move or go through. So one thing that I did want to point out, that for those of you following the series, is that we did actually make the AWACS planes. So that requires you to do an Airbase 4. You can click on the symbols here, and on the information card it'll tell you I clicked on the M in the mechanized infantry. But if you click on this here, right on the AWACS Airbase 4 Arms Industry 1, and then you had to research the E3 Sentry, right? So we do have that. It's just the first rank. We are researching, I believe, let me see what we're currently researching. We're currently researching engine overhaul, but I believe that is for the AWACS. It is. So we're going to advance this to the next level here. On there, it'll be the 1-star AWACS, and then we'll probably just go ahead and max it out on the 2-star, just get a little bit more range and uncover more on the map. We did finish off this Hamburg class, so I'm not going to go, you really can't go wide on your troop research because you want to speed ahead to the powerful units. So you need to pick one and go with it. So I picked 1 infantry unit, the mechanized. It's the one for the Western Doctrine or Eastern Doctrine, which we're in. Let me see if it has it on here. No, that's not it. But it'll tell you the doctrine for your country, right? I'm trying to figure out where that is. But I believe that, well, anyway, it doesn't matter. The doctrine that I'm on, mechanized infantry, is the way to go. So what you do is you build this troop, and then on your research, you're going to pull it all the way across. So on my troops, mechanized, you can see I'm way down to the last one. I could actually start this. You know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and start that last and max out a 2-star. Now, the reason you do that is you're going to have an 8 attack, a 10 defense, right? So now you combine that with the bunker, and you go down to these towns down here, and a defense at a 10 with a bunker, the underground bunkers, is now going to defend at a minus 43%, and it's going to increase your morale and give you a little bit more hit points, right? So if I took 100 damage, now I would only be taking 57 damage, and that allows you to stay in the game more, really, really bunker down. So if you get down to a 5, I'd only be taking 27% damage. So out of 100, I'd only take 27. It would take 4 shots to kill me instead of 1. Really, really super important. If you could pull like an artillery unit in here too, then and like an air unit that's anti-aircraft, then stuff doesn't even reach to you as you start pounding on people, right? It makes it so hard for someone to get in, and because these are mountains down here, your movement speeds are going to be a lot less, right? So if you see unit info screen for more details, right? So if I go into here and I click the info button on this, they attack at minus 50% and they defend at minus 25%. So if you have an artillery unit in here and you have advancing infantry on these tiles, they're going to get hammered trying to get to your city. So I hope that helps explain a little bit about the defensive nature. Most places only worry about the offense. They build a ton of units and they just blitzkrieg. But just, if you do spend that little bit of time in the defense, it makes a huge, huge, huge difference, right? So like, for instance, let's look at the research side and we look at this anti-aircraft. Let's go with a multiple rocket launcher, right? The really a long range kind of beat up. It's only going to attack at a 4, but look, it's going to get a plus 25% on a mountain unit, and then they're going to have a negative 25 defense. Anything that would get on those mountain units would just take a pounding on there, let's see, and then you would need an Army Base 4, Arms Industry 1, and to research that. So we're not going to focus on this. Our defense is going to be okay with a couple of ships and a couple of planes flying around, especially if you have an AWACS. When we get that up tomorrow, I might make a video tomorrow night to kind of highlight that. But you'll be able to place it here, and then boom, this radar is this big circle around, and you see dots where every troop is. So there's no guessing where you need to move to conquer your enemy, right? Or if you see a completely empty town, then bang, you're taking a town with 0 losses, and now you can adequately run through the map without being held up. So anyway, I thought you guys would appreciate the day 19 update. Any questions, you can always hit me in the comments. I appreciate you guys viewing. Hit the sub button. Holla holla.